Oh, hi there. Like free stuff? Want free stuff while also supporting this podcast? Visit MarkRomanEmpire.com and click support. Discover free stuff from companies like Coffee Bean, Farmer Boys, Uber, and Lyft. Plus, choice products and services from all of our sponsors. Keep checking back for new stuff. Before you buy anything, make sure your purchases count. Take advantage of select offers while knowing you are helping me, the Mark Roman, record one more podcast. MarkRomanEmpire.com. Click support. So talk to me. What are we doing? What do you mean this is not my voiceover session for F is for Family? Really? Where is Bill? This fucking Red Sox one. What more does he want? Lieutenant Frank to work security at All Things Comedy? Don't answer that. Podcast? Yeah, whatever. I can do my podcast. I mean, if Jimmy Kimmel can do a podcast, right? You're nobody till somebody loves you. Spreading the news like mayonnaise on toast. The policy of truth. Gary, I have a mission for you. Eastbound and down, loading up and truck 'em. Flux capacitor, okay. But let me tell you about that time I drove a cab. Money that's something, chicks that read. I want my Mark TV. First, you're not on TV. Podcast. Now, that is some weird and wild stuff. Did you know that, Ed? Yes! Oh, please don't drop me home, because it's not my home, it's their home, and I'm welcome no more. Well, Robin attended Juilliard. I attended Hillsdale. I'm a graduate of the San Francisco Comedy College. I've traveled the Midwest quite extensively. I lived through The Big Short and I had a pretty good time doing that. I've seen Pat Robertson jabber about 167 times, and it keeps getting funnier every single time I see it. Not to mention the fact you're talking to a subversive. So what do you think? Do you think I'm qualified?
Oh, well, I think we'll need to pray about that and ask your father.
Shut up, Marilyn! Just eat it. Just eat it. The Mark Roman Empire. Also, a podcast. It's showtime. Life's a piece of shit when you look at it. Life's a laugh and death's a joke, it's true. You'll see it's all a show. Keep him laughing as you go. Just remember that the last laugh is on you. And always look on the bright side of life. Always look on the lighter side of life. That was my karaoke of Always Look on the Bright Side of Life by Monty Python. Not sure about the whistling now. Hey, is it because Mark Maron had Cleese, an idol, on WTF last week? Is it because I started watching Life of Brian on the Netflix a few days ago? Is it because we just had a rather horrible week, bringing home the grisly fact we made America hate again? Our fellow Americans were terrorized and murdered by angry white guys. Fuck. I'm trying to look on the bright side of life. Voz Davis is here. Vozzy. Vozzy is a football fan. I met her while at a Chargers game as Lieutenant Frank in the short shorts and rainbow tactical leg warmers. Oh, yes. She became an immediate fan of Lieutenant Frank. Turns out Vozzy is also a former Raiderette. That's right. An NFL cheerleader on the podcast today. Oh, hi there. I'm Mark Roman. Not Mike, John D. Domenico. Hey, just because you're the best impersonator of the fake tycoon with the orange shroom money can buy, that's no excuse. It's Mark, John. You know, Mark, the guy who helped you get that gig on that James Franco production. Mark who? Mark Roman, you know, like the Empire. We'll chat with the first cheerleader on the podcast, who's not a former president, in a moment. We are back for a second week. I'm sorry, a third week. Time flies when you're having a lot of fun. Here at the world famous Musicians Institute here in Hollywood, on Hollywood Boulevard, carefully nestled between a Tom Cruise Scientology hostel and a fast food fort on your way to the Ripley's Believe It or Not tourist trap. We are safely within stumbling distance of the legendary Pig and Whistle, as well as Jameson's Irish Pub, where everyone knows Lieutenant Frank's name. Ollie, my faithfully proper British companion, is dutifully hovering over the soundboard. Remember, it's all Ollie's fault that I have a podcast. Thank you, Ollie. You can write the podcast at romanpodmail@gmail.com. Perhaps you can be the first. I mean, people still write me, just not at romanpodmail@gmail.com. My friend Veronica Porras from old San Francisco comedy days, she was the one to pop the comment cherry on my SoundCloud, where I am Mark Roman Podcast. She was the one of my 23 followers on SoundCloud. On the Corey Robinson episode, number 2, which just happens to be the most popular of my episodes on SoundCloud at the moment, Veronica writes, I'm on episode 8 now. These interviews are great. So nice to hear fellow SF comic peeps that we, quote, grew up with. Now, over on the YouTube, where I currently have, let's count them, 22 followers. Oh, yeah, an entire 22. The only comment contributor with a profile photo is Paul Lewis Harrell. I interviewed him last week on episode 11. He wrote on our interview wrap live stream, thanks again, Mark. Thank you, Paul. Now, 2 months ago, a Kevin White, with no photo, posted this comment. Technically, it was a comment. I don't know how to read it. It was some prehistoric emoji repeated 6 times. Is it a cuddly bear paw? Is it an eyeless potato sporting a toupee? Is it a 3-fingered hand wave with an enormous palm and tiny, tiny, tiny fingers? You tell me. I truly do not know. But like Mulder, I want to believe. Kevin White posted it on the Ashley Mary Nunes episode, number 1. If you think you might know, let me know. Write me at romanpodmail@gmail.com so we can share with the group. Then there is Truth Is. That's the handle. Big T Truth, little I, little S is. The profile photo is a white tee against a kind of toddler vomit green. What's on the Truth Is channel, you ask? Nothing. Not a goddamn thing. In case you think Spectrum is down again, YouTube bothers to let you know, quote, this channel doesn't have any content. A channel, by the way, with exactly 2 subscribers. The first post, also 2 months ago, was, Mark, good to see ya. Used to talk to you via Periscope on Hollywood Boulevard. Then, whatever happened to Hollywood Johnny Depp? I've yet to respond. Well, perhaps my bad. A little backstory for you. A few years ago, while busking on Hollywood Boulevard as Lieutenant Frank, I was on Periscope for a hot minute, as was Hollywood Johnny Depp. Everyone on his Periscope was all about the Johnny Deppness. Some liked him, some got upset he wasn't the real Johnny Depp. You know, taking time out of his day to shoot the shit about bullshit with strangers on Periscope, like Johnny Depp is known to do. Like Hollywood Johnny Depp actually did. Whenever I popped on, I got some bemusement, a little love, some spectacularly homophobic hate speech, and a lot of, when is Johnny Depp coming back on? Needless to say, I found all of it tiresome and useless rather quickly. Anyway, back to truth is, I don't respond. This guy has no photo, no profile, no content, and now he's asking the whereabouts of my friend. No. So a month ago, I get not one, but 6 unhappy face emojis that look like they are about to cry, but no tears just yet. Seriously, what's the deal with slapping down the same emoji 6 times? Is that how we say our piece on YouTube? Then 2 weeks ago, Truth is breaks out of his emoji stupor to write this. Unwatchable because of the same old intro. It's redundant and boring. Immediately followed by zzz, zzz, zzz. Can't get by the e-begging and commercials. I'm out after 3 minutes. Go back to Periscope. Now, in the last 24 hours, this. The first 7 minutes is pure torture, as it is every time. It's so bad that I can even make it to the podcast, so I never hear them. I'm sorry, did you miss that? I'll read it again. Yeah, I had to read about 5 times. The first 7 minutes is pure torture, as it is every time. It's so bad that I can even make it to the podcast, so I never hear them. This is awesome. I mean, where to begin? Where to begin? Where? Look. Okay. What have we got here? So the first time you're out after 3 minutes, but this time somehow you struggled through a brand new 3 minutes. And then wait, you go into 4 minutes. Oh, you're still there. You go into to 5 minutes. You're still listening. You go into 6 minutes. Wow, you were out after 3 last time, but now you've heard twice as much. You push on to 7 minutes, and then it suddenly dawns on you, oh my God, this is pure torture. And you've been doing this every single episode. Oh my God. And it's so bad that it's not that you can't even make it to the podcast. You can make it to the podcast. And of course, you never hear them. That's why you have all this intel to share with us. Oh my God, I love it. Look, it's still early days here on the podcast. I mean, Mark Maron was on the Barry Katz podcast, Industry Standard, and he admitted it took him the first year or 100 episodes, I can't remember which, to get his rhythm, his cadence, his stage presence, if you will, to actually just be himself. Now, this is on the best of Barry Katz, which I think was like in February this year, because some dude named Barry Katz reached out to me on LinkedIn, and I don't think it's the actual Barry Katz who I'm already connected with on the LinkedIn, who I got to be honest, I'm kind of not sure about him. Kind of the way I'm not sure about Joe Rogan. And I'm not sure about Barry Katz thanks to Mark Maron and what he shared. But apparently they're good. I don't know. It's just, it took Mark a while to get comfortable on the podcast. And this is episode 12 for me, right? Still super early days. I mean, one day I won't even have the time or care to even notice the comments, whether it's on YouTube or anything. Okay. I mean, right now, though, it's different. I guess I'm just happy to know someone knows my first name is Mark. Even if to only write me a poorly thought, awkwardly constructed, and grammatically problematic missive as to why they would never listen to my podcast. They just listen to. Again. Look, I get it. America loves things. It loves cars. It loves jewelry. It loves homes. It loves guns. No matter who has to die for them. America values things. It puts a price on it. It might negotiate, but it will pay the agreed price. Except Wells Fargo. They just steal from you. Then, when you catch them in it, they whine, "What about the stagecoach?" Another thing. What America takes for granted are performing artists. They are not things. Therefore, they have no value. They are slaves. I realized this during an epiphany at my therapy session yesterday. Last one was, 2 months ago. Apparently, the healthcare system is not trying to kick me out, as I previously suspected, but they are checking their charts and looking at me suspiciously. Also, I've been busy with this podcast in particular. Now, there's no girlfriend or boyfriend or wife or sister or brother, mom or dad with whom I can share my day, my struggles, the joys, etc., etc. I do not experience the social catharsis that seems common to those strange and peculiar creatures who would rather be ripped apart by ravenous sharks than step foot on a stage in front of an audience. So, as I share a few events and thoughts from the last 2 months with my therapist, I was surprised at all the pent-up stuff that spilled out. Certain shit came to light and into perspective. Stuff I simply cannot abide. But then, I was never in danger of being the dude. When I perform as a busker, people ask me if they can get a photo with me. I respond, I do photos for tips and donations. A remarkable number of white people swimming in flashy privilege, waving $1,000 phones and cameras, strenuously clutched by their plump, bejeweled fingers, will angrily retort, "I'm not paying you." Or they will laugh and claim they have no cash. I respond, I accept payment apps and credit cards. To which they vomit hysterical laughter in my face, as if I suggested guns should be as difficult to obtain as a driver's license. Now, I get it. I fail to sport a business card from a Fortune 500 that pays no taxes while employing non-union child slave labor overseas. Instead, I offer a fake citation I created and wrote myself and printed on my computer at my own expense. A citation many read and laugh at. And then ask me, Did you write this? A citation that I complete amid a comedy performance I improvise in the moment for that specific audience. An act that made David Spade chuckle and Thomas Lennon tweet. An act California Highway Patrol officers pay good money to hire for birthday parties and brass promotion luncheons. But I'm not worthy of respect. I'm one of the help. Not even worth their wages. A slave. Recently, I got the question, what's the donation for? One time I dismiss, but it's happened more than once. I'm getting it from different kinds of people in different places now. I'm sensing a trend. I perform a character, people are laughing, cheering even, having a great time, exactly because of me and my performance. But they take all that for granted. The donation couldn't possibly be for me, a working artist who just told you I receive no salary to be here and perform for you. No, the donation must be for some socially acceptable cause. A 501c3 with a board of directors and executives who enjoy six-figure incomes, quality health care, and retirement plans for their work at the charity. A charity for sick kids, maybe, where less than 50 cents on the dollar ever makes it to the medicine or those sick kids. That's how you properly give back in America, with sleazy business sleight of hand. A working artist who is not a celebrity or sitting on a charity board of directors deserves nothing more than exposure. Fuck you. I'm learning how to say that with less emotional energy and more linguistic finesse. But fuck you, the privileged swine who feel entitled to greedily demand more. The elite who whine about property taxes as new luxury apartments spring out of the ground and tower over the growing homeless encampments. Expensive towers manufactured by those who may legally pay less taxes than a working artist busker. I make people laugh. I do it very well. That is worth something. I expect to be paid, especially when you demand I entertain you. I am not your slave. Stop living off the backs of slaves, America. Just stop it. Pay your bill, wealthy white men boasting of your alma mater, your resume, your social standing. Stop stealing from everyone with less than you. Just stop it. Now, I've been entertaining people my entire life. I am the cause. When you demand this monkey dance, and I respond I do so for tips and donations, the money is for me. It is for my rent. It is for my groceries. It is for my transportation. It is for my SAG-AFTRA union dues. It is for my costumes. It is for the tomato soup and honey and lemon and water filters I buy to soothe my raw throat from all the yelling and voice gymnastics I perform to entertain you. It is for my podcast that you'll boast you always supported when you read about it in the Hollywood Reporter or the LA Times one day. The podcast that curiously gives me more professional credibility in the average American's mind. More than when I was merely a SAG-AFTRA busker. Even though it is the busking that mostly subsidizes the podcast. I'm the cause. Donate to me. I don't cure breast cancer with 6-figure salaries and expensive advertising awareness campaigns. I don't rape children and pretend nothing happened, like the Catholic Church. I just make adults laugh and children smile. I truly make the world a better place in many small ways, and I know it. More importantly, all the people entertained by me know it. I make the world slightly better. Unlike the recipients of many a donated dollar right the fuck now. Stop giving to the Catholic Church. Just stop that evil shit. Stop giving to charities run by people with personal chefs in their vacation home and Rolls Royces in a garage larger than a 3-bed, 2-bath residence. Donate that money to me. Or better yet, get more value for your dollar. Buy my art, my poem or Lieutenant Frank citations or the autographed photos standing on the fire hydrant. MarkRomanEmpire.com. Click swag. I am Mark Roman, and I approve of this message. We are sponsored by Hollywood Vegas 90210, aka Vegas 90210. Lieutenant Frank, as hired by a California Highway Patrol lieutenant for a recent birthday party. As hired by a wedding party seeking a grand entry from limo to the Bellagio in Vegas. Lieutenant Frank. Hollywood Cap. Beetlejuice. Ron Burgundy. More about your holiday party. Not to mention grand openings, surprise deliveries, or singing telegrams. Got any characters of Vegas 90210? Book one today at Vegas90210.com. Want $5? While supporting this podcast, try Cash App. I did. So did my CHP birthday lieutenant. He linked a debit card and sent at least $5 via Cash App. In fact, he paid his deposit to hire Lieutenant Frank with Cash App. Then $5 was instantly added to his Cash App account. Use my code WKXRVBX to support me and earn your $5 with Cash App, available in your app store. And finally, we are also sponsored by Ella Dawn Designs. Hey, there's got to be a better way to travel with your shoes. Now there is. The trademarked Ultimate Shoe Bag by Ella Dawn Designs. Travel your shoes easier. Up to 8 pairs at a time, many styles to choose. To view the commercial and demo video, go to EllaDawnDesigns.com. Hey, save 10% when you use discount code ROMAN at checkout. EllaDawnDesigns.com. Tiger's Blood winning. This week's Mark Roman Empire, also a podcast, best listener contest passphrase is ask Vozzy Davis about the perfect cheer. So Spectrum, formerly known as Time Warner, they asked me to rate their service. I replied, very dissatisfied. They asked why. I get it. Hiring the literate can erode profits. But as I promised this Spectrum Cylon, here's my response. Dear Spectrum, please ask your CEO, Thomas M. Rutledge, to use some of his $7.8 million compensation package to hire someone who can read. Then have them read the exact Twitter direct message thread within which your corporation asked me to rate your service 5 days after the fact. You're welcome. And Tommy Boy, don't forget to tip your busker doing your fucking market research for you. Hashtag it takes a busker because charter and Spectrum owners and management behave like feudal kings raping the wives of serfs on first knock. Also, whoever is having sex with Tommy Boy Rutledge, please dial 911. We all know it is not consensual. So I'm at the Rams game tailgate. I look up. There's this enormous billboard. Spectrum Mobile. Oh, wow. Really? At least there is some choice in mobile. So anyone who chooses Spectrum Mobile has me very concerned. And then what to do about all this corporate crime? I mean, boycotts can become impractical and problematic quick. I know both my iPhone and my old Samsung on Android were likely made by non-union child slave labor overseas. What can I do? Unless I want to unplug from civilization, communicating via Morse code by hurling carrier pigeons at the next passing Pony Express. But I can target certain companies, call them out for their misdeeds and crimes, and refuse to do business with them. Maybe suggest that those who want to work with me in the future might consider the same. Look, I'm already on the FBI's subversives list. I'm in recovery as the son of Elmer Gantry's bitch. There's no safe place for me to go home for the holidays. I've really got nothing to lose here. So, my blackballed list. Perhaps we'll call it the exiled scroll of the Mark Roman Empire. Wells Fargo is clearly on it. Remember the bank that robs its customers before De Niro and Heat can even get the bank blueprints from Angelina Jolie's dad? And now, Spectrum Mobile. They don't get my business. And if you want anything from me ever, you might want to figure out how to divest from them now. Or not. Just don't be surprised when you see a line in my contract that reads, quote, all parties must be divested of any holdings, investments, or business relationships with the following firms. Hey, if Brad Pitt can blackball Central Casting, I can blackball Wells Fargo and Spectrum Mobile. It's one of the many ways I hero tier. Oh, what's that? Hero tier? It's a word I invented years ago. I just can't afford to completely do it. Visit herotier.org to catch up. I need to update it and discuss it further on a future podcast. Hey, Pope, don't make it bad. Take a sad song and make it better. Did you see the latest 60 Minutes expose on the Catholic Church? A whistleblower revealed Buffalo Bishop Richard Malone did nothing amid sexual abuse allegations. More of the same, right? Hey, Pope, playing priest and bishop musical chairs, is that what Jesus would do? Hey, Pope, don't make it bad. Since you clearly lack a moral compass, let me tell you how to make it better. I don't need a special channel to some, as Carlin would say, imaginary invisible man in the sky to do it either. You, dear Pope, preside over hell on earth. Just ask all the Catholic boys and girls abused by your priests. Their autobiographies are pure Dante's Inferno. Hey, Pope, just stop it. You are the leader of a magnificent crime organization. Just admit it. Ask forgiveness for your sins if you must, and take responsibility for your crimes. You and your mafia, too extravagant for Liberace, deserve not another dime. Now, as we live in the age of the illiterate celebrity, what I am saying may be too subtle for those making hate great again. Please note that I am using my First Amendment right here of free expression to echo George Carlin and call out the Pope of the Catholic Church for literal crimes. If you want to exercise your Catholic or any other religious faith, knock yourself out. Just don't violate the rights of others. Don't violate children. You notice here what I haven't done? Anyone? Bueller? I am not advocating violence. I am strongly suggesting that your dollars are better spent elsewhere and that criminals should be prosecuted. Believe it or not, now is the difficult part. Yeah. Gotta take a swig here. Honey, lemon water. Thanks for asking. Filtered. About the Tree of Life Synagogue in Squirrel Hill, Pittsburgh. I'm reminded of several people no longer with us. Jack Benny, Milton Berle, Joey Bishop, David Brenner, Lenny Bruce, George Burns, Sid Caesar, Rodney Dangerfield, Sammy Davis Jr., Marty Feldman, Larry Fine, Buddy Hackett, Madeline Kahn, Jerry Lewis, Chico Marx, Groucho Marx, Harpo Marx, Zeppo Marks, Mike Nichols, Gilda Radner, Harold Ramis, Don Rickles, Joan Rivers, Peter Sellers, Gary Shandling, Phil Silvers, Gene Wilder, Henny Youngman. I hesitate to say Andy Kaufman because he may still be out there. And apparently a common practice in America in 2018 is for people to place 3 parentheses on each side of the name of anyone Jewish on social media to flag them as targets. That happened to a New York Times journalist who shared the experience on the Daily podcast just today. I'd hate for that to happen to anyone. That list of names I read, certainly not exhaustive, feel very close to me, even though I never met any of them. Jerry Lewis I didn't meet, but I was within feet of him on location filming The Trust with Nicolas Cage and Elijah Wood. All this cast and crew were cramped into this tiny kitchen with all the windows covered to shoot a night scene in the middle of the day. Suddenly, Jerry and his entourage stroll in. What the fuck is going on here? We shooting a goddamn porno or what? That list I read are all comics and live entertainers who are no longer with us, mostly natural causes. Whatever I do as a performer, it feels like I'm standing on their shoulders. They gave me a rich legacy of entertainment to enjoy and find inspiration. They made my world a much better place. I'd be utterly lost without them. Outside of my son, I really don't know or relate to family. But these wonderful human beings, they feel like family to me. They all happen to be Jewish. I am not. And yet they are my tribe. They bring me laughter, joy, and shalom. Like many Hebrews still walking among us, I hesitate to name those friends of mine because I feel like I'm in Germany in 1940. And Anne Frank is frightened to make a single sound in my attic. Can't even afford an attic. Thank you, National Review, The American Spectator, and Hillsdale College, as well as all those frothing at the mouth in utter terror at the different. A German TV interviewer once asked, Mr. Williams, why do you think there is not so much comedy in Germany? Robin Williams replied, do you ever think you try to kill all the funny people? It was never a joke. But many laughed when Robin shared that story. Sadly, it's not so funny anymore. The pain is no longer distant. It's become much closer. According to the New York Times, the Anti-Defamation League logged a 57% rise in anti-Semitic incidents in the United States in 2017 compared to the previous year, including bomb threats, assaults, vandalism, and anti-Semitic posters and literature found on college campuses. Remember, the Nazis are not fictional characters in Amazon's The Man in the High Tower. They actually live and slither among us here in America in 2018. But I get it. Kathy Griffin is the problem. By the way, if you want to represent me as an artist, please contact Kathy Griffin. Ask her what she charges to vet you. Ask her about the Kathy Griffin clause in my representation agreement. When she asks, who is Mark Roman? You can cut her a check for whatever Anderson Cooper's current appearance fee may be. And thank you, Kim Masters on The Business on KCRW, for reminding me that Kathy Griffin may know a little bit of what it's like to be on the FBI's subversive list. Kathy, you are welcome on my podcast anytime. You are a hero and a national treasure. You got my vote for the Lenny Bruce Lifetime Achievement Award. I'm late to the party on this. Shame on me. All right. A lot of heavy stuff. Sorry, guys. The week. All right. We got Twitter posts over at The Mark Roman. There's Nate Silver on the plague of generalists in the media. There's the list of who hasn't committed all these acts of terror on U.S. soil. There's Dylan Brody on the plague of, quote, get their take in news. Sam's response to a 12-year-old who hates that Sam Comrose said, goddamn. Thomas Lennon on hashtag Irish Book Week. Ashley Mary Nunez, she was on podcast number 1 as Elvira. My question to the LA Times about Hollywood property owners. Ace Katana, he was in last week or 2 weeks ago, podcast number 10, on what to do with fascist impulses in society. There's the Washington Post article on Uber, Google, and the long lingering tale of hashtag MeToo. Filmmaker Joe Wakefield about this podcast. There's that cartoon about match heads and gasoline. And the latest reason Spectrum infuriates with a screenshot of the chat. We got just a few Instagram posts over at Vegas 90210. There's my head on a coin as the new podcast logo. Tell me what you think. There's scooters are a clear and present danger in the neighborhood. Hollywood Avengers reaching across the superhero universes in spite of hate. And Hollywood screenwriter Anne-Marie Evans and Lieutenant Frank at the Rams-Packers tailgate. You can see me next. Will Lieutenant Frank ever make a cameo on Hollywood Boulevard? He almost did yesterday because Bill Burr was on Kimmel, but we'll see. Stay tuned. Pay attention. Tailgates are back. Lieutenant Frank will be at on the 10th at the USC versus Cal, and on 11th, Rams versus Seattle. Those are both at the LA Coliseum. Hollywood Camp on Hollywood Boulevard with the Hollywood Avengers. That includes Hollywood Iron Man, Hollywood Wolverine, and Hollywood Spidey. You'll be seeing a lot of them this weekend, but this weekend, that actually just happened if you're listening to this podcast, because this drops on Monday. But you'll see them a little bit the following weekend there. You can listen to the podcast at Mixcloud, Podbean, Stitcher, TuneIn, and on YouTube, where we are all Mark Roman Empire. On SoundCloud, it's Mark Roman Podcast. MarkRomanEmpire.com has all the links, plus rolling new grooviness. My interview guest today is Voz Davis. Vozzy on her Instagram. I think we're going to go with Vozzy. I frankly barely know Vozzy. This podcast is older than my relationship with her. Now, she clearly loves my Lieutenant Frank character, and I like her mojo. And to be honest, I'm a little curious. Never interviewed a cheerleader. And I do have some questions. So, let's discover together. So, what are you doing, Vozzy? You got me on Snapchat.
I'm going to try to find... Oh, this is a voice changer.
I'm going to have to actually download Snapchat again on my phone now.
You do.
This is crazy. See, I used to have Android.
Yeah.
And then I finally...
You switched to Team iPhone?
Joined modern society with the iPhone about 3 months ago.
3 months ago.
And so here I'm... So, all right, off the top.
This is really nice.
This is going to be really cool and kind of exciting. A little dangerous. What's going to happen? I don't know. Because we just met but a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
Literally, this podcast is older than our relationship. Can I say relationship? We know each other. It's,
Yeah.
So I feel like we're all going to discover together I'm gonna be discovering, as well as people are listening to this podcast right now with their earbuds in.
It's fine.
And they're at the gym or they're driving or whatever, they're trying to ignore their roommate or their family member or what have you. They're like tuning out.
Yeah,
So the most important question for me to get started is it Vozzy or is it Voz?
Well, my name is Voz, but
That's on the birth certificate.
that's on the birth certificate.
Gotcha.
But everybody calls me Vozzy.
Yeah, because like your Twitter handle's Vozzy. I think your Instagram's Vozzy.
Yeah, it's kind of cute. Everybody just calls me Vozzy or like Vozzy Bear. Because you remember the Muppet Babies?
Yeah, okay.
Vozzy Bear.
Okay, I like
Call
it.
me Vozzy.
Now, I did a little research, and apparently,
You did research.
when I typed in Vozzy on Google,
Yeah.
the very first thing that pops up is an entry from the Urban Dictionary.
Oh,
Do you know about this?
No.
You don't know about this. You should know
No,
about
I
this.
know the
Okay.
Urban Dictionary though.
All right, so apparently it's in the Urban Dictionary, Vozzy. It's in the category drugs.
Okay.
And apparently it means, this makes sense, vodka.
Okay.
There's some derivatives.
All right.
Let's see here. I don't know, as a white boy, if I can accurately say this sentence. Yeah, man, that Vozzy fucked me up.
Can we say that one more time for
We're doing this for Snapchat here.
Yeah, we're doing
Okay.
it for everyone. Go ahead.
Yeah, man, that Vozzy fucked me up. I have no idea what that means.
Okay.
But vodka, yeah. Hashtag vodka, hashtag drink, hashtag alcohol, hashtag water, hashtag good stuff.
Okay.
According to the J, and that's J with not one, not two, but 3 Y's, way back in October 11, 2009. This is like a decade ago.
Yeah.
Great. So how do you feel about that?
I feel good. I'm glad it's nothing like disgusting or sexual because
That's a good point. Yeah.
there's a
could be.
lot on Urban Dictionary.
Is there?
Like a lot. Like shit you're like, oh,
This might shock you. I'm not on Urban Dictionary every day.
you're not?
I'm not. Yeah.
Okay, there was a time back when I was in college where me and my roommate would just kind of just be on Urban Dictionary all day and
Okay.
just like
So
look
talk
up
to me about
different
that.
things.
What's that?
Like we found something called a dirty Sanchez. Have you heard of that?
I've heard of that. Yeah.
Okay, so we found that
Okay.
on there, and then we found a word called banus.
Okay, that I don't know.
Pull out your iPhone. You just got there. Google challenge.
Google challenge.
Banus.
Okay. Doing a Google challenge right now. for
Yeah,
all
what else?
All of you listening on YouTube, because we're on YouTube, but it's audio.
Okay.
Just to like. So what? How do I spell this?
BANUS.
BANUS.
Yeah.
Survey says. What's your taint?
Yeah. But they call it a banus.
That
When's the last time have you heard it called banus?
I don't know how I feel about that.
Never.
You know what it feels like? That feels like a Roman way to describe your taint, doesn't it? And then Pericles, I know it's Shakespeare, but it feels right, kids, right? And then Pericles said to Demosthenes, who I think is probably Greek. When is it gained Roman? I don't know.
Yeah.
What is it called again?
Banus.
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 I also feel like that could be the name of either a heavy metal band or an industrial band. Banus.
What else do we find?
It probably are. That's already got to exist.
It totally does. But anyway,
that's
yeah, we
crazy.
used to have a lot of fun with that.
Now, are we talking about a time during college?
Yeah.
Okay, which was at?
It was at UC Berkeley,
Okay, and you were studying
sociology.
why sociology? What was the draw?
Honestly,
Yeah.
okay.
No,
all right.
please. I brought you here on my podcast to lie to me. Vozzy.
Well, because so I transferred there, right?
Okay.
And I met all of the requirements for that major. So I
Okay.
was like, sociology it is. It
All
was
right.
if I were to try to major in something else like business or
No, you say all of the requirements, like the classes you were interested in, that's what fit? Or
the
just
prerequisites.
the prerequisites? Oh, so stuff you'd already done.
Mhm.
Okay.
So
Such
that
as?
major fit what I had. Like just your like regular GE, like your general education.
Okay.
Nothing extra. Didn't go
Gotcha.
above and beyond. It was just like, okay, cool.
Right.
I got my 4.0 here, so I'm gonna just transfer into that.
That makes sense.
You know.
Now, where'd you go to high school?
I went to Woodbridge
And that's where?
in Irvine.
In Irvine. Oh, so down here.
I'm from here.
Okay.
Yeah. I only went up to the Bay for college,
Gotcha.
and then I stayed for the Raiders.
But a little more happened.
I stayed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So when did the football situation? How did that?
So that was my last year of college, my senior year. And I'd say like a month before my actual graduation, I went to this restaurant called Kincaid's out there in Jack
Kincaid's?
London Square. Yep.
Oh yeah, Jack London Square. That's a fun place.
You know about that?
I don't know about Kincaid's, but I've been to Jack London Square.
Been to
It's
Jack
a really
London Square.
cool, groovy.
It's
spot.
a cool little area. So they had flyers up there that said, "Do you have what it takes to make the team?" And I was like, "Yeah." I was like,
I want to witness any human just like walk up to you, Vozzy, and go, "Do you have what it takes to make a team?" And I just want to see like your expression, because you would just with as little effort throw the most immense shade. Like, really? You're asking me? Wow. Okay. Fine. Hey, yeah. You know what? Yeah. All right. I'll jump on your SS Minnow for a hot second. Let's see what could go wrong. Yeah.
yeah.
Entertain me. Yeah.
So
So what happened?
I just said, all right, sure. So I'll do it. So I went to prelims. There's preliminary rounds and then there's finals.
Okay. And this is for
Raiderettes.
what are the Raiderettes?
The Raiderettes are the group of women who cheer for the Raiders.
They're
They
the
stand on the
cheerleaders.
sidelines and they dance.
Right.
And they
Do you like to dance?
perform. Yeah. And they are cheerleaders. So,
Now, had you ever been a cheerleader like earlier in life?
yeah.
Oh, okay.
But I had never ever auditioned for an NFL team. Ever.
It's pretty intense
It's
I mean-
pretty catty.
I've never done. I can imagine.
It's pretty catty. It's a lot of looks and glares. And
really?
a lot of, have you ever auditioned before? And I'm like, no, I haven't. Oh, well, you won't make it this time.
Wow.
You have to audition like 4 or 5 times before you make the team. This is like my 5th time auditioning. And I never made it. And I'm like, ooh.
Wow. No projection there.
So
So you get a lot of that, huh?
So that's what I got when I went to the preliminary round.
So you have your competitors are already practicing. They're waging psychological warfare against you. They're like, you're going down. You're like,
Yeah.
I just got here.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Yeah. And that's what I thought. I was like, all right, well, I guess I'm not going to make it. Well, then I made it past prelims. And then I went to finals. And like all the girls that are used to like being there, they had their like perfect outfits and they knew exactly how to come. And I didn't even flat iron my hair.
Right.
Like I put biker shorts on and just like a Nike sports bra. And then I made the team. So, but the girl that it was on her 5th audition didn't make it again. And I was like, well,
wow.
you know, hey,
Interesting.
see how that goes?
Yeah.
Don't be cocky like that. Yeah.
It's amazing. Yeah, because and again, I barely know you. I really like your mojo.
Thank you.
And your mojo, there's this kind of quiet confidence about you that I don't know how to explain it, but it's I feel like it's something that puts people at ease, but it's also like it's not something that I think people would take for granted. They kind of get the sense that like if they challenged you or offended you, that quiet demeanor would instantly change in a nanosecond and you would rue the day that you did that. It takes a specific type of personality to pull that off, because there's some people, and you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And it's just like you encounter them, you're kind of like, I'm a nice person, but if I had to roll this person, it would not be difficult. I don't know how I know that. I don't know why I know that. I kind of don't want to know that, but I do know that. I just found that out right now. I didn't even know this person. They're a complete stranger, but I'm pretty sure I could take them right now. And I guess that goes back to like our primordial, the caveman, cavewoman,
I don't know, it's your gut.
fight or flight survival, right?
Yeah. Yeah. That's all in your gut, all right in here.
Right?
fight or flight. Yeah.
It's crazy.
I mean, I don't know. I'm cool. I'm calm. I'm chill.
You are.
You know? I'd be
So-
my friend. Totally. I'd
So-
totally be my friend.
How long were you a Raiderette?
For 3 years.
3 years. Okay.
Mhm.
That's like a college.
Almost 3 years. I mean, that's
Duration.
not really much compared to the little girls that are there now. Like
Really?
my best friend, Angel, this is her
Yeah.
8th year.
Okay.
She cheered with me all 3 of mine. My other best friend, Johnny, this is her 6th year.
Okay.
There's been girls that's cheered for up to 10, 15 years.
Wow.
Yeah. As long as you stay in shape and you can dance and you can compete with the 18-year-olds, you're good.
Right.
Yeah. Because
So I imagine you have to qualify again each year, right?
audition every year.
Wow.
Got to audition every year.
Now I've heard stories. They've had like things on 60 Minutes. Not most recently, but like in the last 6-9 months, I feel like
Yeah.
just about what it's like to be an NFL cheerleader. Because some people have had some stories to tell.
Yeah.
What are your stories?
I have nothing but awesome stories to tell.
Okay.
I don't have any complaints about it. I feel like the stories that have come out are
Yeah.
like, just like girls complaining. Like,
Really?
Yeah. About stupid shit. Like shit you probably shouldn't have even said, you know? It's
Okay.
like, what the fuck? Like, you know what you're signing up for. You read the contract. You know what this was. What the fuck are you doing?
All right, well,
now?
We're in an interesting time right now with the Me Too movement. So when you say you knew what you signed up for, in your mind, what does that mean to you?
Well, there's a contract that
Right.
lays out everything that's expected of you.
Right.
And we go through that contract as a team.
Right.
Matter of fact, we like each clause is read out loud by one of the girls on the team. Like we're in a kindergarten class. Like, okay, hey, Sarah over there, you read the first one. Angel, you read the second one.
Smells like corporate attorneys.
Yeah,
They're
it's like-
recording in. They're like,
Yeah.
Your Honor, on this day at 5:13 in the a.m., we have video evidence to show that.
Yeah. They all read this and understand it and they signed it.
They nodded. They signed. We've got a vial of blood.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Right. It's like, I just feel like at that point, you could look at the stuff. There's some stuff that I saw that was like, I don't really, fuck it.
Well, can we get
You know?
can we get a little more specific here? Like what kind of stuff?
For me, it was the pay.
Okay.
Because I mean, I thought that we got paid a lot of money, like before I had ever.
It would
Listen.
seem because
Yeah.
the NFL's got a ton of money,
A ton of money.
you know, and this is like it's the pinnacle of cheerleading, isn't it?
Yep.
I mean, can you go any higher in the world of cheerleading
No.
than the NFL?
Nope.
Okay.
That's it. That's it. NFL, NBA, whatever. But yeah, when I saw how much we were paid, like,
Can
I
we
was
talk
like,
about that?
Yeah.
How much?
When I started, we got like $125 a game.
What?
A game. And then we had
Wow.
appearances that we went to, like the events that they sent
Yeah.
us on, where
Yeah.
we're just like all glamorous and just perfect. We would get maybe like $35 for that. Or if it were like one of the out of town trips, you'd get like
Wow.
400. And those events were designated for
And
like the
expenses
vets.
or
Oh, no,
out
no.
of town?
It came out of our pocket.
Wow.
It was like a really expensive
So the
hobby.
travel to get there, if
My
you need a
gas.
hotel,
My money,
meals,
food,
getting from the hotel to the
unless
event.
it was like an international trip, which
Wow.
yeah.
That is amazing.
Yeah. And like, think about it as women, like to keep up this shit. Like,
Yeah.
hair, makeup, lashes, nails. Fucking what? That's
How long does it
expensive.
take you on a typical day, if I can ask, to get made up
Like
to
to
where you
get
feel
all the way
comfy?
made up to where I feel comfortable.
All right, let's do. Let's say just adequate. How long does that take?
Adequate?
Adequate.
For me would probably be like 45 minutes.
45 minutes.
But like
okay.
good,
Yeah, good.
that's
Game day.
Game day is about 2 hours.
Jesus.
Game is about 2 hours. Honestly, it's could fuck around and be like a 2-day process because you figure I'll probably flat iron my hair Saturday night
Okay.
to be ready for Sunday morning.
Gotcha. So you got curly hair.
Yeah.
What's the deal? People who have curly hair seem to want to have straight hair. People who have straight hair seem to want to have curly hair. I've noticed this.
I like to be able to have options. So
okay, that's fair enough.
I like to have straight hair. I like to have curly hair. I like to have wavy hair.
So you might mix it up.
Yeah, I mix it up.
You had a kind of hilarious post.
When?
What was this about? Why women dress. There was a list of reasons. Care to comment on that?
Well, there's a list of reasons, but the one reason is it's absolutely not for a man. Absolutely not for a man at all.
Right.
But maybe I would say out of that list, the number one reason, which actually isn't even on that, is other women.
Really?
Absolutely. Women are competitive. Like we don't even know why. Like, what am I competing for? Nothing.
Interesting.
Just want to make you feel bad about yourself. Subtly,
hilarious.
obviously.
Hilarious.
You just have to
Right.
That's what girls are like that. Girls suck. We suck. We're the worst.
Now, why do you say that?
Well, we are. We're not nice at all.
I think you could say that about just about everyone. At a certain level.
But I think women more so. Catty.
The cattiness.
Like cats.
Yeah.
Like cats. Like think of the nature of a cat. They look sweet and pretty, but they'll scratch the shit out of you.
It's funny because I just watched Joe Rogan's most recent special on Netflix. And Ollie, my sound engineer here is like, yeah, he knows what I'm talking about. Because he talks about the difference, because he has both cats and dogs, but he talks about the difference between them.
Yeah.
He says basically like a dog, they'll look out for you. They want to be your friend. If they do something that displeases you as their owner, they'll be like, I'm sorry. I think he's talking about like a rat or a hamster or something, and how the hamster would fare with a dog. The dog would be like, I kind of want to eat it. Can I eat it? oh, I'm not supposed to eat it. Oh, it's family. Oh, it's okay, yeah. No, it's family. Sure, okay. Whereas the cat, there's like not even a conversation. It's just the second the hamster arrives, the cat's like, ooh.
Yeah.
And then the cat just like,
I'm going to eat that.
Grabs it, kills it, eats it, and then just looks at you like, what? And then the cat turns around and sticks its ass in your face and walks away and says like, yeah, deal. I'm a cat.
Yep.
Anyway, I can't, Joe does Joe a lot better than I do, but yeah, if you guys haven't seen that, he's a pretty hilarious special. Even if you're not a Joe Rogan, I'm gradually easing into Joe as a comic, because like Bill Burr is one of my guys. Bill Burr, he's like my imaginary big brother.
Bill Burr.
Yeah, his Red Sox just won, so he's all excited and happy.
Oh, okay.
And he does this thing. He started this thing with Al Madrigal called All Things Comedy, and so he'll like drive around whatever town he's in doing comedy, and it's called Driving with Bill. And he's this like, angry, ginger guy from Boston, okay, who now has no hair. So he's just like this seething rage underneath. And so, he'll be looking at people in traffic or pedestrians or what have you and getting like really upset. And it's hilarious. It'll be like these little 2-minute clips on YouTube.
Yeah.
So there's one that was put up right at the beginning of the year. And he's driving around Hollywood. And he actually saw my Lieutenant Frank, who you met. Mm-hmm. So he sees this guy sitting on a corner. I think it's this corner of Wilcox and Hollywood Boulevard. Mm-hmm. And, Lieutenant Frank's in the short shorts, rainbow tactical leg warmers. And Bullock goes, look at this guy, And then he just like imagines, if police being better if, they look like that. And then light changes, I walk across, and then all of a sudden an LA fire truck shows up at the intersection, and Lieutenant Frank goes interacts with different fire and police folks. So he's like, I'm giving a thumbs up to the fire truck, and Bill goes, oh, look at that. He's giving a thumbs up to the fireman.
Yeah.
I fucking love that guy. So that's I've never met the guy. He apparently was on Jimmy Kimmel yesterday in my neighborhood, but I was busy doing other stuff.
Jimmy Kimmel is still on the air.
Right? He's got a podcast. One of these
Really?
days. We need to get him on Ellen.
I didn't know
Or
that.
Maury Povich. That'll really help Bill.
Maury Povich.
Help, right? Nothing launches a career like Maury, am I right?
Who's the daddy? You know?
So yes, I'm trying to warm up to Joe Rogan. Because he's like, I'm not into sports that much, and I'm definitely not into like the MMA stuff. And,
Yeah.
But I don't know. He's kind of slowly growing on me. He's kind of like the unofficial, unelected, but everyone's grateful he volunteered. He's like the comedy police because he tore Carlos Mencia a new one for stealing material, and like that's a legendary clip on YouTube. It's either the Improv or the Comedy Store. Probably the Comedy Store. But yeah, so he's a force to be reckoned with. He's in the community, so it's like I gotta get a little more hip up to Joe.
Yeah.
So, all right. So you're cheerleading as a Raiderette for 3 years. What happened at the end of year 3? What did you choose not to audition for year 4, or?
I chose not to audition for 4, and I chose to get married.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What happened?
So I got married to this guy that I've been dating for about a year.
Okay.
Yeah. And then we moved to New York.
What?
Yeah.
Is he from New York?
He's from the East Coast, from Atlanta, but he was going to Columbia at the time.
Oh.
Master's program.
What was he studying at Columbia?
Finance.
Oh, no. He wasn't going to become like an investment banker, was he?
He was, but instead he settled for being a sales analyst for a brewery.
A brewery.
Brewery, yeah. Yep.
Okay.
So we moved to New York, and we had a baby, my daughter. She's 6 years old now.
All right, on.
So that lasted
They grow
about...
quick. I got a 20-year-old.
You told me the chemistry major. Chemistry?
Yep. And he just looks like he's going to slap on like biological chemistry for a double.
Wow. See, like that's... I didn't want to do that. I couldn't go to Berkeley and do
I hear you.
Like,
Oh, you know what messed up my 4.0 in high school?
chemistry.
Fucking chemistry.
Yeah.
Got a B+. Thanks, Doug Stryker.
Yeah. I think I got a D and had to do it again.
Yeah,
So,
but my son is making up for it. He's literally going to invent Cylons out of plants. What could go wrong? I love you, Connor.
wow.
Yeah, no, I remember 10 years ago, he's like a little kid, and he's like talking to me on the phone and going like, yeah, Dad, one day we're going to have that cell phone that you're holding right now is going to be like implanted in your brain. And he's just like nonchalantly, matter-of-factly like describing that future reality. Like, you know, like everybody knows this. And I'm like, you're kind of creeping me out, kid. What's going on, you know?
Like, how do you think of that? Like,
Right.
Yeah, I know. That's crazy.
He's awesome, but yeah, there's a lot going on up there.
Mm,
So he's got the chemistry covered. And your daughter, what's she interested in?
Well, she just entered the first grade.
Oh.
And so,
Big
you know,
move.
yeah, they have
New
kindergarten.
School? Or
No,
same school.
same school.
Okay, that's good.
So she had a kindergarten graduation, and
They have graduation for kindergarten now?
yeah,
Really?
yeah,
Wow.
yeah. It's like, oh, she's officially ready to go to the first
Back
grade.
in my day, or I think maybe there was graduation from, at the time they called it not middle school, but junior high school.
Yeah.
But I don't even think.
Well,
But for
I did.
kindergarten.
I
wow.
graduated from kindergarten, and maybe it's a private school thing.
And I went to public schools.
Did you?
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, I had a kindergarten graduation. I went
Okay.
straight to the first grade right across the hall the next year. But so at the graduation, they gave the mic to every kid and asked them what they want to be when they grow up.
This is your graduation or her graduation?
Hers.
Hers, okay.
And so there were kids that wanted to be a fireman or like a football player. There was a
Do
few.
you even know when you're in kindergarten?
No, you don't. So then there were other kids who were like, I want to be a doctor. I want to work in the same hospital my mom works at because she's also a doctor. And then my daughter gets up and she says, I want to be a farmer because I want to grow food to feed the animals because I love animals.
Nice.
I mean, coming after the I want to be a doctor, I'm just like, what?
Well, she likes animals.
She likes animals. So I'm like, maybe I can steer her in the veterinarian
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
direction. I don't want you to be a farmer, be a vet, work with animals that way. Fucking farmer. I was like, what, Nia, are you talking about?
You know, so there's some people that after you do things in life, the idea of being a farmer, can actually be a very appealing
Right.
process. You know what I'm talking about?
I just want to
you
go on
know?
a farm. This rest of this.
Like I'm sensing this story is that because you're not married at the moment.
No.
Right?
No.
Okay, so I feel like when divorces happen, I think a lot of us feel like farming. Yeah, why not? So let me get this straight. I can just trade all of this I'm going through right now, and all I got to do is like grow some peas and corn. What, Nebraska? What? I don't care. Sure. Yeah. Iowa? I don't care. You tell me.
Right. I'll take it. Yeah. Yeah, probably, but not in kindergarten.
So how long were you and the finance guy for the brewery together?
The marriage, probably like
the marriage
year.
part, 8 years. Oh, okay, so you
A year. We married.
a year.
Yeah.
1 year.
One of those.
12 months.
Yeah. Wasn't good. We were both way too young.
Oh, is that what it was?
I think that had something to do with it.
Okay.
There was other things. But yep, he was 25 and I was 24.
So did you broach the subject? Did he broach the subject? Did you both kind of look at each other and go, yeah, I think we're doing this now? Or like what?
Like what? Ending this?
The
Well,
severance package.
Oh yeah, I just kind of said, I'm leaving. So
you're
he
the
went to
one who-
work and I just took the baby and got on a plane and came back to California.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, pretty hardcore, but there's just too much shit.
Yeah.
Why? And I figured if I'm going to leave and get a divorce, I should do it when my daughter's young
Yeah.
and
yeah.
she doesn't she's not living in a 2-parent household and then I have to ruin that.
Yeah.
Yeah, do it before she knows anything.
Exactly. My son was 6 months. So,
Right.
Yeah. It's like
It's better that way than
Yeah.
like 7 or 8 years old. Now you're all fucked up.
got a bunch of extra traumas that are packed in and
Yeah.
you can actually remember it. Yeah.
So that's cool. Now it's like she knows that her dad's here and I'm here and
Yeah.
he and I are cool. So
that's
we'll do
cool.
dinner every now and then. It's fine. Everything's fine.
Okay.
Yep. It's all good.
Right on.
Yep.
And you got a future farmer in the world.
Future farmer. Future veterinarian.
Nice.
Yeah. That's what we have
So-
over there.
Now, what are you doing when you're not doing stuff with a 6-year-old?
I'm going to work every day. I work in Irvine at a
Okay.
property management company.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. It's commercial property management, so I don't get to live in, any of our spaces.
Gotcha.
Those are businesses are run out of them. So yeah.
Yeah, I used to be in the mortgage industry, and yeah, there's a big difference between the residential and the commercial.
Huge difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Across,
Yep. Yeah.
whether it's leasing, whether it's buying, finance, just whatever, because it's just two completely different worlds.
Yeah. Yeah. You get to actually go home from your job with with commercial property management.
Yeah.
Residential, it's like your tenants just are fucking calling you all day,
Wow.
all night, whatever you need.
So what led you into the property management?
My family.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. My dad.
Gotcha.
My dad's been doing that forever.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, when I came back from New York, he was like, hey, you need a
This-
job? You want a job? I was like, I need to work. And he was like, well, you're going to come work here. And I was
Nice.
like,
Okay.
perfect.
Now, your dad has an interesting football connection too, right?
Mm-hmm. He has an interesting football connection.
Which is?
My dad went to USC.
Okay.
He played football there in the 70s.
Okay.
He's known mainly for his game against Notre Dame. All of his games against Notre Dame.
Interesting.
Yeah, he scored like back-to-back touchdowns. Like I think in one of the games he scored like 6 touchdowns. Like
Was that-
back-to-back.
Here, or was that in Indiana?
He did that here. And I feel like he had some games back there where he
Yeah.
did that too. But
Yeah.
so anyways, they call him the Notre Dame killer.
Nice.
His name-
Sorry, Lou
yeah.
Holtz lovers, but
Yeah, he's the Notre Dame killer. His name is Anthony Davis.
Anthony Davis.
Anthony Davis. So
And did he just play for USC?
He played for USC and then he went to play for the Los Angeles Rams. And
He's
then
a Ram.
He's a Ram. And then he went
Whose
to play
house?
for Tampa Bay. That's what I said. I should just start, cheering for the Rams.
Yeah,
You know what I
right.
mean?
Yeah, because we met at the Chargers tailgate down there in Carson.
Yeah.
And I think I saw you once or twice at that same
Yeah,
tailgate.
I saw you there at the first preseason game,
Mm-hmm.
and then I saw you at the Raider game. when they came and
Did
played
you
the
s-
Chargers.
Yeah. The Raiders
That
game to the
was really
Chargers.
good.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I feel like I
There's-
probably saw you another time.
So let's talk about that because we just met here like a month or two ago.
Yeah.
So what was your perspective? Because I was dressed up as my character, Lieutenant Frank,
Yeah.
in the women's short shorts, rainbow tactical leg warmers,
Yes.
with
Rainbow Tactical.
the banana for a gun, and wandering around just talking
Awesome.
shit as if I'm
Yeah.
Don Rickles.
Really hot.
At a
Really good
roast.
legs.
Really?
Really
See,
good
it's interesting because I'll get feedback from people that are literally mortified, offended,
No.
and they are demanding, like, shave your legs. And it feels a little creepy because I'm like, okay,
No.
seems like you got a specific fantasy going on, and it's like, you need to share. There's children here, okay? Like, it just feels weird, It's like, oh, okay, I get it. You're not into that, but it's like, really? You have to like come out and say that?
Yeah, I think my first impression, I had never seen you before, but the girl who I was with, she's a season ticket holder, and she's
Okay.
also one of my coworkers. And so she's always at all of the Charger games.
Right.
So she always sees you. Like, always.
Right.
So when I saw you, I was like, who's that? I want a picture with him.
Yes.
She's like, oh, he's always here. I'm like, do you have any pictures of him? She's like, no. I'm like, well, you're crazy. I'm like, I want one now.
Nice.
So, that was my first impression. I was like, this fucking guy's awesome. So the next game, I was actually hoping to see you. That's why I sent you a DM like, hey, you're going to be there today, right?
Yeah, because we connected on Instagram at that very first
Yeah.
meeting.
I was
All
like,
right.
I need to keep up with this person. So, yeah. And then I had like put everybody on game. Like I let them know like, yo, there's this guy that comes and he's hilarious and kind of cute. So look, when he comes, we're going to take a picture of him. Okay?
So you're into the hairy legs.
I'm into all of that.
Yeah.
I'm into like long and lean,
Yeah.
That's you. So
You're pretty long and lean yourself. I mean, you definitely you got curves, but you're also
I'm not long at all. I'm pretty short. 5'3".
Why do I perceive you as tall?
I don't know. Shoes?
I do. Maybe. Okay, there we go. That's only, okay, that's maybe like 4 inches.
And literally every time you've seen me, I've had like flip-flops on. So like I have no idea. You probably just don't remember.
I don't know.
Fairly short.
You know what it is?
What?
I think it's a little bit about your mojo.
My moxie.
Yeah.
Moxie.
Yeah. No, seriously, because you come across as someone who is nice, but don't fuck with her.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, people fuck with me a lot.
Do they?
Yeah. What? I'm like, why do you want to fuck with me?
My thoughts and $5 will get you that pumpkin spice latte over at the Star Schmucks. Okay, I'm just, what the hell do I know? This is my perception.
I'm just kidding. People don't really fuck with me.
So
I'm cool. I stay out the way.
yeah, I kind of figured.
Yeah.
Kind of figured. You don't strike me as a person who takes shit from anybody.
I don't really give you an opportunity to give me shit.
Yeah. That too.
That's the
I don't-
part.
I don't feel like you suffer fools at all. It's not even, there's not even a chance to notice if it's good or well. No, just no.
No. Mm-mm. You're right. I mean, you're good. You're good. You read people well.
Well, I don't know about
Really
that.
well. Yeah.
But,
I think you do.
all right, so we got you down to LA.
Yeah.
So you work with your dad doing the, now how do you feel about that?
What?
I mean, it's cool. Your dad, got you a cool gig, but I mean, do you like doing that? Do you want to keep doing that? Or like what?
I'm really a fan of stability. So
It's working well enough for you?
yeah, whatever
Okay.
I got to do to take care of my daughter.
Sure.
At this point, I don't care. I just need it to be, I need stable.
And you got 12 years
income.
before she's maybe going to college somewhere.
Yeah. I really don't have any complaints. I'm like pretty good. I like
Yeah.
my weekends. I appreciate them. My
Sure.
friends.
Okay.
Go out and have a good time here and there. So I'm pretty content.
Okay.
I'm pretty content with where I'm at right now.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Yeah.
fair enough.
No complaints. I'm good. I live in Southern California. I'm from here, born and raised. Like, I mean, I
Right.
can't. What else? Like, what else? I'm fine.
Fair enough.
It's
Fair
all
enough.
good.
Now, I do need to ask you, because you're a cheerleader and haven't had a cheerleader on here.
Yeah.
To ask this kind of question.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think, do I even know? You may be the only former NFL cheerleader that I know.
You should probably get some more. I know some. They live here.
Yeah. I mean.
There's some Rams girls. There's
okay.
current. That might be kind of cool to have on your show too.
Yeah. Well, because I'm kind of interested with what's your take with Colin Kaepernick?
I get it. Yeah. I totally get it. I actually don't even understand like why he's being shunned right now. I don't get it.
By the NFL.
Yeah. Why are you doing that? I just don't, it doesn't make sense.
Right?
It doesn't make sense. Because, I mean, like, Marshawn does that. He's been doing that since college.
Taking a knee?
He just doesn't even stand up. He just sits there.
Yeah.
During the national anthem. But, like, I think it's that, I mean, there's a lot, if you look at the sidelines, there's men that stand around him so that you can't really see it. But he doesn't really make it blatant. He's just like, I'm standing here. I'm sitting here. You know? It
seems really weird to me as a white guy looking at this organization that's predominantly white and male as far as the ownership. Mm-hmm. And you have a lot of the athletes who are African American. Mm-hmm. And they're literally doing the work. Yeah. They're performing, they're the draw, but who gets paid?
They do.
The white guys.
Yeah, it's like modern day slavery. That's exactly what it is. You're just
and you were in that with the cheerleaders, just doing the same thing to cheerleaders.
Yeah.
That's just ridiculous.
I mean, hey, it's an experience. But I think I understand, like, from another standpoint. I mean, a lot of people say that it's like he's disrespecting, like, our vets and disrespecting the flag. And okay, I hear you, but he made it clear that that's not what he was doing.
Yeah. And what does that flag even mean if it doesn't include, the Bill of Rights and civil rights? Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, I mean, there's a lot. Mm-hmm.
And clearly not freedom of speech either now.
Yeah, thank you.
So it's like,
thank you.
I mean, I don't understand.
That really resonates with me, the freedom of speech part, because I was a student editor in college. Okay. And I got kicked out. Oh. They trumped up a reason that's laughable.
Really?
Yeah.
Were you raunchy?
Because there was no dirt on me. They couldn't find any. So there's like no sex scandal. There's no drug scandal, no alcohol scandal.
Yeah.
Even though the president who kicked me out had been caught multiple times in DUIs, and those would always get swept under the rug.
Yeah.
So he was politically connected as a lot of Republicans. I had a newspaper that I controlled. It was independent. Yeah. And there's a scandal that they didn't want discovered, and it didn't become public until a decade later when one of the people involved committed suicide. Oh. Yeah, so they were scared that I would discover that. So they're like, we can't have any independent student press. So the second there's some little controversy with the one student newspaper. I was opinion editor, and I resigned in protest, and then I started my own. And ooh, no, we can't have that. So yeah, and then I found out pretty shortly thereafter through my brother who ended up in the Marine Corps, and got verified by my former college roommate who was a U.S. congressman at the time. He confirmed with the FBI that my name somehow got placed on the FBI's subversives list. Wow! At the tender age of 19. What? Yeah, so basically for my entire life, I cannot serve in the military. I cannot, I dated a rocket scientist at Boeing once. Okay, the security clearances that she had, I could never qualify for because I'm on that list. This is before 9/11, so it's before the no-fly list. Wow. But it's the same list that Abby Hoffman, who was in the free speech movement at UC Berkeley back in the 60s. Yep. I'm on that exact same list.
Wow.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's a Freedom of Information Act out there, so I could, I could go, if I bothered to go through the channels and say, hey, what's the status of this? I suppose I could. I feel like, I've... That was a huge trauma in my life that I deal with to this day. Wow. And it, I'm like, someone else can do that, you know, like maybe the ACLU, because when I contacted them at the time, they're kind of like, well, this is a contract law issue because it was a private college. So like, it's not technically free speech. And I'm like, yeah, well, it's like effectively free speech. That's why like I really empathize with Kathy Griffin, what she's going through right now, which is really interesting after what happened this past week. Kind of go into my monologue on this episode. Yeah, it's like there's actually real racists and flat out Nazis, and they're literally killing people.
Literally.
Because, you know, they're like, you're different, I gotta kill you. That's really going on. And yet Kathy Griffin, being an artist expressing herself, it's like, because she's effectively been, you know, blacklisted by the industry. And it's only because as a stand-up comic, she has the option to go perform stand-up comedy on her own, and that's what she's done, and she's like selling out arenas. So she's awesome. So when I see Colin taking that, which is, it's such an elegant, it feels to me like that's just, you know, it's very much in the spirit of what Dr. Martin Luther King was advocating. It's very graceful, there's a lot of dignity to it, and it's just a simple act, just like, hey, we should have a conversation. You know, which you would think that's what we would, you know, we want our kids to look at these heroes and we want those heroes to have a positive impact. How is that not a positive impact? I'm sorry. I got a lot of friends who are cops. And Lieutenant Frank is kind of like the adopted mascot.
A little bit.
Of LAPD Hollywood Division.
Kind of.
But facts are facts. Cops in America in 2018 are killing people who happen to be black, and it's very disproportionate, and it's like overwhelming, and like every other day there's some new news story. So it's like, this is not fake news, this is a very real thing. And all Colin wanted to do is just take a knee and say, hey, maybe we should think about that, talk about that.
How just using his platform best way that he could, and now he's blackballed,
but Nike gave him Just Do It,
right? And which kind of made me think, I'm like, was this a plan? Did they like plan this from the beginning? Who knows? Maybe
you know,
they offered him a contract way in the start of this. You know?
I'm cool with that.
I'm cool with that.
See, to me, it's like there's people that you know, I'll see other white guys and they'll spend energy arguing about how they feel entitled to use the N-word. And I'm thinking, how do you get off doing that? Because I'm like, to me, I'm like, and I come from like an extreme free speech guy. It's like even before Louis C.K. had issues, that's the big issue now. I know it's horrible.
Wait, what's the issue now?
Well, he would use the N-word.
Okay.
And
he would?
Oh yeah, quite a bit.
I've seen all of his stand up. I haven't heard him.
Check it out.
Again. I haven't heard any of that.
Yeah, a lot of his material, he would use the N-word.
Really?
Yeah, but he would do it in a way. I mean, he's a very, you know, progressive. Let's all get along. I don't see color.
I like him.
He would. I like his comedy. I don't like what he did. Around the women in the comedy business that like looked up to him, and he's like, "Hey, I'm going to masturbate in front of you now," and they're like,
"Whoa,
what? You didn't know about that?"
No.
Okay. Yeah.
Nothing about that. When did that happen?
It's kind of a big deal. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Okay. Now you get to go on your phone and Google. Just Google Louis C.K. You'll see exactly what I'm talking about. But like Louis would make that argument, and I'm like, you know, I'm good. I don't need to use the N-word. I don't.
Louis C.K.
That is something that, you know.
No, you shouldn't do that.
There's so much fucking baggage that I don't have to deal with. You know,
there's no point. To me, it's like if you're not black, don't say it. Just don't use it.
Yeah. Why do I need to use this one word? I have all these other words.
It's so
like
weird.
To me, I don't get that. To me, it's like the second someone makes an argument like, well, I want to be able to use this word. I'm like, how are you not a Nazi? I want to know. How are you not a member of the KKK? Because like of all the things you could spend your time on, like that, wow.
What's even more strange is when you see like Asians calling each other that. Isn't that weird? Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Like Asians or like Mexicans. And you're like, wait, don't you guys have a word you use? Or is it like, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's weird. Neither here nor there. But wow.
Yeah.
Wow. This says that.
You're discovering about Louis C.K. right now.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Another comedian, Rebecca Corey. Do you know who that is?
I don't know her.
She said that while she was appearing with Louis C.K. on a television pilot in 2005, he asked if he could masturbate in front of her.
Yeah.
She declined.
Yeah.
Wow.
And she's not the only one. There's like a bunch. And he admitted that he did it. And then he claimed that he was going to like take some time off. And that time off apparently was like 6 months because he just showed up at a New York comedy club about a month ago.
Like, what do you get from that?
He's been going to different comedy clubs since. And that's been a bit of a controversy too. But yeah.
Is that a thing? Men like to do that.
I don't get that.
Men like to just like want you to watch them do that.
I don't get that. Like for me, like if I'm
or at least have her do it, like, right? Or
yeah, I don't. It's weird to me. It's weird.
Is it weird?
To me, it is. Like to me, like
I mean, like
if I'm attracted to someone, like I want to like let's do something like together. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like hey, don't you just want to have sex or something?
Yeah,
or,
exactly.
Okay,
it's like an interactive thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
right. Like it takes two to
like,
tango.
you can totally just have sex.
Yes.
Okay.
But this no, just stay right there. Stay right there. No.
Right.
No, you're fine. You're fine. Yeah, I'm just gonna kind of, No, you don't have to do a thing. You don't just but stay. Don't
like,
leave. Don't leave.
Don't touch me. Don't touch me.
Don't leave. You know, and it's like, yeah, I don't get that.
I don't know.
Like, it never
weird.
occurred in my brain.
That's a weird thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. So
all right, I gotta end on this.
Okay.
Because you've been a cheerleader.
Yes.
When are you running for president?
$2020 when Oprah does.
2020.
Mm-hmm.
So you want to be in a primary against Oprah?
Hmm.
Okay. And at the last minute, do you want Oprah to get the nomination or do you want you to get the nomination?
Oprah.
Strategery.
Yeah.
I like what you're doing there. High five.
Yeah.
Nice. Vozzy, you're awesome.
Thank you.
Thanks for shit. Do you think we covered some bases here?
We covered some bases.
I feel like I know you a little better.
I think we did like a not so typical cheerleader interview because
what is, I want to know what is a typical cheerleader
usually
interview.
Cheerleader interviews are sitting up nice and proper and we're talking about how great the fans are and the Raider organization. Like that. And it's filmed.
This is a podcast. So you can't
you're just
see.
like, yeah,
Vozzy
perfect.
has a smile like she's literally like she's auditioning right now.
Yeah.
And she's represented by WME. She's auditioning to be, of the toothpaste brands, but she wants that toothpaste commercial.
Yeah.
That's going to be in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Like she has that smile.
That's the
and you
smile.
do have pretty fantastic teeth. So
No, I'm trying to make them better.
have you ever thought of doing any acting?
No, I haven't.
Okay.
Never thought about that.
Fair enough.
Mm-mm. I feel like you have to have time to do that. Like you got to be able to go to the auditions and you got to be able to just be able to drop everything and get to where you need to be.
So we're going to see you run in 2020.
Yeah.
So we campaigned for you, and at the last minute, we might end up campaigning for Oprah. But at the end of the day, we're going to get a black woman in the White House because it's definitely time.
Yeah.
Especially after this past week. Oh, hell yes.
Yeah.
It is time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
It's time. I'm down.
Thanks, Vozzy.
Thank you.
Vozzy. Hey, we both, you listening right now and me, got to know her a little better here together at the same time. She's really cool. She's got some cool mojo. I would love to see her, like have her own show or go into journalism or do something in the entertainment field. I don't know. I think she's got some options sitting in front of her. She should so choose to to pursue them. Hey, show notes at markromanempire.com. That's for any links or other groovy stuff that's mentioned. Thanks to all our listeners across the globe. I see you, Portland, San Jose, and Des Moines out in the Iowa on the SoundCloud. Hey, you can listen to the podcast on Mixcloud, Podbean, SoundCloud, Stitcher, YouTube, and looks like we're righteous again on TuneIn. They got all episodes now. There's even an Apple Music hack until we get into the store. MarkRomanEmpire.com. Click listen. More platforms in progress. Want special deals? Join my mailing list. The Mark Roman Empire Census. What kind of deals? Well, last week, Census members enjoyed 2-for-1 on my Lieutenant Frank hydrant spread photo, autographed. What deal will it be this week? Well, whatever it is, it will only be available to those of you included in the Mark Roman Empire Census. To join the census, go to markromanempire.com and click Census. Twitter at The Mark Roman, Instagram at Vegas 90210. You can email me, kids, at the podcast at romanpodmail@gmail.com. Wow. Wow, we did a lot on this episode. Some heavy stuff, some fun stuff. It was a lot, though. It was a lot. Are you good? Am I good? I think I'm good. Yeah. I'm good. I'm good. Until next week, don't be Courtney Fast. Look out for your fellow humans. We all bleed the same blood. Let's help each other bleed less. And remember Clownolin and Prince St. Paul. I am the Mark Roman.